Hello, everybody. We're going to start off with a joke just to kind of get things going here. You guys down for a joke?
Yeah.
All right.
Dad joke.
Be careful what you ask for. What do you tell someone who took Stevens Pass to Seattle when they should have taken I-90? What do you tell someone who took Stevens Pass to Seattle when they should have taken I-90?
There's words for that.
Hey, buddy, you blew it.
Oh, you blew it.
I like it.
All right. My name is Shai, and clearly I'm not a comedian.
And I'm Kelsey, and I begged him not to tell that joke.
We are two of the three founders of Rotten Apple, and we're an event production company currently showcasing comedians from around the country and bringing them in to the Wenatchee and Chelan valleys.
Our primary aim is to bring people together and experience joy and impact their lives.
Yeah, so on paper, we formed our company just a little bit over a year ago, but really looking into our histories, it feels like we've been on this path for a long time now.
Yeah. Shai and I fell in love in Los Angeles and shared a lot of common interests in art, music, food, family, and of course, we loved to laugh.
And laugh we did. My favorite thing to wake up to every morning is the sweet, sweet sound of Kelsey's laughter. Let's give it a laugh. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
All right. After a couple years of dating, we decided to move to Portland. But before Shai's lease was up, I went to visit my family in Chelan to stay for a few months. I fell in love with the town and proposed that we stay through the winter and rent a house there.
Yeah, by the time winter was over, Kelsey and I ended up falling in love with Chelan, but more importantly, we fell deeper in love with each other, and we decided to stay.
As time passed, we knew there were opportunities to start a business, but we weren't exactly sure what we wanted to do. I myself have a background in visual communication, set design, brand development, and sales.
Yeah, my background is in fine arts, graphic design. I also do web programming. We've done the site for our Rotten Apple, but also marketing and brand strategy. So I'm the guy who came up with this logo here.
And the missing piece to finally starting a business in Chelan was our partner, Jesse, the third member of Rotten Apple.
So Jesse and I have been friends, and we started in high school for over 2 decades, but he lives in Los Angeles. So us two are out here, and he lives in Los Angeles. He was the talent booker for the Hollywood Improv for over a decade. So he developed a Rolodex of amazing talent during that time. And that's how we're able to bring such amazing comics to our small town.
And he came to visit. He came to pay us a visit in January of 2018. It was the dead of winter, and he thought it'd be a good idea to come out and get some writing done.
Yeah, we showed him around, took him to all our favorite places, really, kind of bragging about where we live now.
And within a couple of days, he was amazed by the beautiful sights and sounds of our new home and our sense of community there.
But he asked the question, I'm sure some of you have asked, or some of your visitors from out of town have asked, what do people do for fun at night? What's there to do? And Kelsey and I looked at each other like, well, we've changed a little bit. We like to play board games, watch TV, and that's pretty much it. Well, in the summertime, a lot of people come into town, and in Chelan they go to Senior Frogs. We haven't been there yet, but yeah, that's pretty much what we do.
Yeah, so he looked at us in disbelief and said, so nothing. All the visitors and locals don't have much to do.
Yeah, and in that moment, we felt like we've kind of hit on something. We discovered something where we can have an opportunity to finally start a business. And we saw a problem and try to figure out a way to fix it.
Within 3 months, we came up with a name,
Rotten Apple.
a logo,
Right over here.
a venue,
Campbell's.
a marketing strategy,
Cozy, Google, Facebook, posters, word of mouth.
locals, yeah.
Locals, yeah.
Yeah, built a stage,
Oh, there we go.
bought lighting equipment, hired comedians,
You blew it.
and put on our first show May 18th, 2018.
Yeah, that was last year.
This one.
Yeah. So we worked day and night to really spread awareness about our brand, and by the end of the summer, visitors and locals alike were really excited about comedy. And We actually started to develop a really devout fan base in Chelan.
Local demand asked us to continue to produce shows in the off season. We listened and nearly sold out every show.
As of today, we've put on over 67 shows with over 35 comedians, and I've had 4,500 people come through our doors just in over a year's time. And as of March, last month, we started a new chapter in our business and have partnered with the amazing people at the Red Lion Hotel in Wenatchee, and we're doing shows at the Grizzly Room every Thursday this year.
Our product is joy. We don't just sell joy, we embody it. And we want people, we believe that people could always use more of it.
What we're looking for is to be connected with the movers and shakers of Wenatchee. Who should we know? Who can we connect with that can help spread the joy that we're bringing to the Grizzly Lounge every Thursday?
Thank you for letting us share our story with you and the opportunity to grow within the Wenatchee Valley. We look forward to your questions. So as a combination of things, I think that, obviously Shai's a master at the digital aspect of strategy and putting things out there that way. But really, I think what grew us the most rapidly there is going from business to business and literally offering every business owner free tickets to our show. And just being a part of the community, immediately getting on the radio, doing 2-for-1s for our locals.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it, was embracing the local community. When what we saw initially was an opportunity with, oh my God, look, all these visitors coming into town. And that was our strategy at first, but what we realized is that was kind of one step removed from the core, which is the locals. And once the locals got on board in Chelan, then they're the ones who tell their friends and family coming to town, oh, you guys are here. We have this amazing show you can go to now. Or if you're a business owner and people are drinking wine, like, hey, what else can we do around here? Oh, you guys got to go to this comedy show. So at first we thought it was the visitors that we're marketing to, but it was actually the locals, and that kind of changed everything in a small town. We're still looking to really learn about Wenatchee and the history and the community and the business owners. So that's still going to be a very important part of us, because we want people who live here, year round, to really be able to have something to do at night. But I think with the bigger market is where some of these digital channels that didn't honestly work as well in Chelan really figure out a way to target and spread the message through those channels as well. Because we were able to reach a lot more people with a little less manual labor.
Yeah, but we have been putting in the same approach as well by trying to get to know every business in town, and obviously it takes a little more time here because it's a lot bigger, but really trying to make ourselves physically present and going around and kind of doing the same approach, putting up posters and introducing ourselves to business owners, and taking that same approach as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm originally from Los Angeles. I lived there for 31 years, and that's a huge market. And this is not my first run at entrepreneurship or really trying to get things up and going. So Wenatchee still does have a strong sense of community and a small town sensibility, but with the opportunity to really thrive, which is very difficult to do somewhere in Los Angeles where, if I started a comedy club in Los Angeles, no pun intended, I'd be laughing. They'd laugh me all the way to the beach, and I'd be like, okay, that was dumb. But, Wenatchee, we can actually do something and honestly pursue our dreams. I feel like we could do that. Well, we want to see where that takes us, if that one show is is heavily attended and people seem like they have a good time, and we develop a devout customer base. And like in Chelan, there's people that go to every show. This season we introduced a season pass concept, which means that you buy a ticket to literally every show, and when actually that's 13 shows, in Chelan that's 14, and we already have people buying season passes because they're committed to going every week. So if we see that type of customer loyalty and people giving us positive feedback, then we can take that one show and do 2 shows when they come out here. Our business is set up in a way that a lot of our comedians fly into Wenatchee, so they come in at Pangborn, so we can take advantage of the fact that we drive from Chelan to Wenatchee and then do a show Thursday. So we can easily take one show and make it 2 shows, depending if it sells out far in advance. And then we take them to Chelan. So we have this kind of route that we built back and forth. First show was in March, so that was kind of like our soft opening, if you will. Although we had a great ribbon cutting ceremony that we did with the chamber, so that was a lot of fun. And we did one other show last month. So officially, this month, May 16th, is when we kind of kick off our spring-summer high season, if you will.
It'll be continuous.
Yeah, it's
from
pretty much every Thursday. There's a couple weekends where we'll not be there, like July 4th. It doesn't make any sense for us to do a comedy show there, but for the most part, from Memorial Day to Labor Day. At the Red Lion, we're at 120.
We're always open to different ideas. Right now, the Red Lion's a perfect setup for us. I don't know if everyone's been to the Grizzly Lounge, but it's this great little windowless, smoky bar. It's perfect for comedy. But and like, we're even doing a few special events at the Ruby Theater this year, and we will be doing an event at Harmony Meadows in October. So we're always kind of open for different ideas and special events, we're not. I wouldn't say we're not committed, because we are definitely, but we're always open because we are new to this community.
Yeah, we're polyamorous when it comes to like business.
Yeah.
We've been in talks with Alex Haley for a while now. I think he puts on some of the comedy events, or if not all of them. And he originally did events at Chelan as well. So, that's an example of like people we want to be connected with, of people who have experience putting on shows and what works and what doesn't. So he's one name that we've connected with.
So that's a bar setting. So it's kind of interesting because you guys are coming in when it seems like this comedy's hot right now. This idea of creating comedy. But I don't see it as something to like make you guys nervous, because I think the same thing happened with co-working in Wenatchee a year ago. Everyone wanted to do co-working, and you talked to everybody and they had this idea about how they were going to create this co-working space, and now we have almost 3 that are all going to, right? Because they're all kind of different. So, and I think you guys understand the community aspect of this area. So I think that's great, whereas you don't look at Alex as like a competitor, right? You guys can really harness that relationship.
Not at all, and I think there's the ability here, especially with the population and everything, that there is the ability to have multiple comedy circuits going on, and kind of enhances the value as far as like if someone's really into comedy, that's really cool. They have different options to do it, and so we're not. We invite that wholeheartedly and aren't threatened by like competition at all. I think it's great.
We can have different markets too. Like a little bit. When it comes to our style, like when you come to a Rotten Apple show, it definitely has a certain theme. Kelsey's a mastermind at transforming a space into an event type atmosphere. So when you go to the Grizzly Lounge, you're not just coming into to like a bar. It actually feels like a comedy club, to one that maybe you've gone to in Seattle or a larger city. And same thing at Campbell's, like the Campbell's ballroom, it looked like a seminar room, right? And typically you go in there and walk out with a timeshare, but you don't want to feel that way when you come see comedy, right? So I mean, Kelsey really, like, her and her dad by hand built a huge backdrop. So this stage that I did earlier, that was actually representative of this beautiful backdrop that they built with curtains, and we have our own lighting truss. Little table and stool on stage. I mean, our concept is to produce high quality events, and not just really doing this for comedy's a business. Really, our payment is seeing those smiles of people on the way out, and that's truly how we feel about it.
And for Chelan, especially just in the year's time, what we've seen is it has kind of become this community and like fellowship of people. Like we said, we have a lot of people coming to every single show, and we hope the same for Wenatchee, that it feels very warm. It's not just a bar you're going to and there's comedy that night. It's like the entire basis around the event is the comedy show, and people are coming together for that and experiencing a high quality event that is more than the comedy show. We have our own special cocktail that we do, and we have like a very themey thing. So when you walk in there, you really feel it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Rotten Apple cocktail has a gummy worm in it, just for FYI. We won't really talk about Chelan because Wenatchee is really where we have our biggest challenge. Understanding how to kind of replicate that small town strategy that we had out here. I think so far we've had mild success, but is that sustainable over 13 weekends? We don't know, but we've committed fully and we've booked our entire season out. So we don't really know what has worked and what hasn't worked yet because we only had 2 shows out here. But earlier on, when it comes to trying to figure out how to succeed at our business, we weren't sure about what type of comedy to bring to this town. And that was a gamble almost every time, are people into edgier stuff or is it more conservative? Do they want clean? Do they want dirty? And last year we came across a couple weekends where we knew they were on the edgier side, but the feedback was was very direct. For example, I don't know if I should be saying this, but one lady said, after watching blank blank, I have to go home and take a shower.
Well, I know what comedian it was.
You're like, I know him.
Early on, we were so personal with our business, it felt like we did something wrong because we also are not only professionally involved, but we're personally involved with the town, right? So our biggest challenge was how do we maintain our brand integrity? How do we maintain the respect we have for our customers, but at the same time, continue to push the envelope with the content and arts and free speech so that that's I think our biggest challenge. How do we continue to both be a creative business yet not go around offending everybody?
And after that show, we actually learned and put up disclaimers on all of our, you can go online just like a movie and go, well, you could do this before and look at the profile, but a lot of people don't do that with comedy for some reason. They don't preview who they're going to see. They kind of just walk in blindly. So we put kind of like ratings on each one of our shows so people kind of know what they're getting into. Is this show more sexually driven, or is this going to be a little bit cleaner, or is this, and frankly, once we started doing that, there were plenty of people in their 60s, 70s, 80s coming to the shows that they knew were going to be inappropriate and like ready
hey,
for it.
Tonight, we're going to have some really strong sexual language. Like, that's why I'm here. I'm in, I think.
So, yeah. As far as the Grizzly Lounge, no, just because it's a bar, so it has to be 21 and over. With Campbell's, we have a little bit more flexibility and can essentially do a 17 and over show, just like a rated R movie. If a guest is between 16 and 17, typically we prefer that they're with their parents, but once they hit 17, it's like they're technically an adult. So if
18.
Oh, okay. 18?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a rated R movie is 17 and over, right? Or is it 18
Right,
and over?
yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. So we, but there are certain shows that we kind of, we limit it because there are some that are more explicit than others, and we'd rather just not, yeah.
So with Campbell's, we have that flexibility, but at the Grizzly Lounge, we don't. Does that mean that there's opportunity out here for that audience? Possibly, but once again, it'd be a venue that we'd have to find. Yeah, and we totally agree. This Memorial Day, we do have a clean comedian coming through because the idea is that a lot of people come out to Chelan and to
With
really
their family.
embrace a family time. So we have a clean. So we're just gonna see how it works. Let's see if they do really come out and respond to that. Currently, it's solely ticket sales, and that's how our business is built currently. And sponsorship and advertisement are both opportunities that we plan to capitalize on after establishing our regular attendance. You know,
You gotta
that's
get your comedy to the marketplace in place first.
yeah. Like, look at what we've done. Like, it's impressive to hear a year later that we have over 4,500 people, and that's 4,500 people looking at a ticket with a potential for somebody to advertise on. But you know, we couldn't really make that claim last year. So last year was our proof of concept. We went from literally a project to a business, and this year, you know, Kelsey works for Neville full time now. This year, we have an actual business and a business plan, and sponsorship and advertisement is on that roadmap as well. Yeah, typically we will see people, I would say 40 and up, with, I would say, you know, like disposable income. Our ticket prices are on the higher side of someone like a Hush Hush Club. I believe they're $10, $15 tickets. Our tickets here are actually $20 and $30 tickets, 20 for general admission, 30 for VIP. And that kind of speaks to not only the type of experience, but the level of comedy that we have. Comedians kind of work like vodka, right? There's different shelves. You know? And nothing against each shelf, you know, like anybody could be funny. They could be the next Jerry Seinfeld or
They all
whatnot.
go up. They all
Yeah.
work their way up.
People work their way up, then all somehow go back down to
Yeah.
charcoal vodka as well. But you know, what we tout is a high quality event with high quality talent, and so that's kind of representative in our price offering. And people have been showing up that are older in age and, you know, possibly a little more well off than some of the other demographics. You know, it was a mixed bag for us with those channels, and primarily because we were in Chelan. That type of advertising was creating brand awareness, but it wasn't actually creating people coming to the show. And that's kind of like my world and my forte, and that was a little shocking to me, and we had to pivot and really put our boots in the ground and use that, which actually worked for us. So I think out here is where I'm starting conservative, but I'm slowly building up those campaigns. So besides Facebook and Instagram, Google Ads as well, and even possibly some Yelp. I'm going to be exploring this year with Wenatchee, because, you know, people are always looking for things to do, and Yelp is the #1 place to kind of find places. But right, you probably haven't seen us because I'm being very conservative at first, but I'm going to ramp that up right now for our high season, if you will.
So I mean, I think we've covered a lot of it, but essentially, you know, we're trying to grow from the ground up here, and it does kind of feel like we're starting over. We're in this new place, and
Jesse's question.
yeah, we want to know what has helped your business personally, what channels of advertising you've used and felt that, you know, has really been successful for you as a business, and what you'd recommend for us, and as far as what we're doing in our business.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much.
Thank you.